Welcome to Sports Jam!
Everybody get up, it's time for sports now.
We got a real show going down.
Welcome to the Sports Jam.
It's your chance, talk and rant.
It's the Sports Jam.
All right. Hey man, you can't get any better than that.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Sports Jam. Today is Wednesday, July 17th, and I'm finally back.
Welcome back, Joe.
Back from my,
Joe.
my
Welcome back.
vacation. Welcome back to you, Sam. You were also gone for a week.
Thank you.
Where did you go, by the way?
I went to Washington, D.C., actually.
Oh, yeah? What'd you do there?
Well, I actually went to a leadership conference thing there because I really want to be a lawyer when I grow up. So it was a lot. I just learned about like law. A lot of lawyers spoke. It was actually really cool.
Did you hang out with all the dead presidents?
No, didn't,
No?
unfortunately.
Did you go see any of the monuments or any of the special stuff?
Yeah, I did. I saw the new MLK is memorial. It's really, really cool.
That thing is like 60 foot high or something like that?
Yeah,
Isn't it massive?
It's like a huge stone, and then it's a statue of him coming out of it. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's like kind of a full-size Mount Rushmore type thing, right? I mean, full body size, right?
Yeah,
Where it's like chiseled into a rock.
it's really awesome.
All right, so let's talk about the All-Star Game yesterday. Did you guys watch the game?
Yeah, I watched it. Sam, you watch it?
I had a baseball game actually, so I did not
Oh.
watch it.
Sounds like that was less important, Sam.
Yeah, I did lose $5 though to one of the kids on my team. So,
Did you win your baseball game?
yes, we did.
All right.
I actually got the save in that. So,
Nice.
Oh, very nice. Well, you, just like the AL, won yesterday. Chris Sale got the win, 3-0 victory. Patrick Corbin of the Diamondbacks takes the loss, and Joseph Nathan got the save. Sale pitched 2 perfect innings with 2 strikeouts. Travis Wood and Jesse Crane did not pitch in the game yesterday, though.
67-year-old Joe Nathan.
Yeah. Hey, Joe Nathan, he's still doing work. He was great with the Twins. Then he had a couple bad years of injuries, and now he's back doing his thing. Jesse Crane obviously was not going to get in because he's injured, and Travis Wood, I guess,
He pitched on Sunday, so he wasn't available.
Yeah, he was only going to be an extra inning guy if needed.
All right.
I thought it was a pretty boring game. I don't know about you guys.
I agree. It was boring until probably Mariano Rivera came in the game in the 8th inning.
I mean, the NL only had 3 hits. So
Yeah, there were only 12 hits in the game combined, 9 of them from the AL. To me, the most exciting part of the whole game was when Prince Fielder got a triple.
It was.
I mean, the NL didn't have Puig, so I mean, the fact that they were Puigless, so
Puigless.
Puigless. So you think they would have won if they had Yasiel in there?
if they would have been full of Puig, they would have won, I think.
All right, moving on.
You know, Prince Fielder, he diving into third base. He wasn't diving at the base. He thought that was Twinkies over there, right?
You
Did
saw
you
that
see
picture?
that on
Yeah.
Facebook? Yeah.
I did see that picture
That
as
was
well.
hilarious.
Love all the fat jokes.
Yeah.
The MVP award went to Mariano Rivera. I
Yankees
think
pride.
completely bogus.
Are you serious?
Are
Bogus.
you kidding me?
He deserved that.
Oh.
You know, they played for him. I believe that's why the
Stupid.
AL won.
You're like, that's heresy right now.
Stupid. That's why the
Who
AL
should have
won.
won? Who should? Yeah, because they were playing for Mariano Rivera. His
Oh,
last time.
Don't give me that crap.
No.
No.
He gave a speech before the game. Torrey Hunter gave a speech. Let's win this for Rivera. Who should have won then?
Chris Sale.
Chris Sale, of course. How did I know?
All right, okay. I get that. I'm a Sox fan. But Sale was the only AL pitcher who went more than an inning. He went 2 innings, 2 perfect innings,
All right.
with 2 strikeouts. All right. He faced David Wright, Carlos Gonzalez, Yadier Molina, Troy Tulowitzki, Michael Kadire, and Bryce Harper. 6 up, 6 down, all starters on the team.
Well, Bryce Harper, like I said yesterday, I don't think he deserved to be in the game. So
I think he did.
Mariano Rivera faced Gene Segura, Alan Craig, and Carlos Gomez.
Alan Craig's a pretty good hitter.
Alan Craig
they're all
isn't as good
all-stars.
as any of those guys Sale faced.
They're all all-stars, though.
Are you kidding me?
They're all solid.
David Wright, Cargo, Yadi, Tulo, Bryce Harper, Kadire.
Okay, if you're going with that argument, I don't think any pitcher really contributed that much to win the MVP. Because,
It wasn't like one guy dominated in the AL side. I mean, all the guys, the 3 RBIs were spread out between 3 guys. Nobody had more than 1 hit. No pitcher pitched more than 2 innings. Which is kind of normal anyway. But of all those guys, Don't give it to Rivera just because he's old and he's a legend. I don't care.
He was retired.
Since Nolan dominated, they should give it to Rivera.
But he wasn't the MVP. He was just the oldest Yankee player who happens to be a legend who is playing.
And it was his last All-Star game of his career.
So he just is expected to give awards handed to him because of who he is? Are we giving him the Cy Young at the end of the year?
No, but
It's his last season. Give him the Cy Young.
it's an All-Star game.
The Cy Young and the MVP of the All-Star game doesn't really.
Well, the thing about it is, it is the All-Star game, which is just terrible in itself, and nobody really cares anyway. But it was just the most obvious thing ever. I tweeted in the 7th inning before Rivera even came in. I said, watch Mo come in, give up 100 runs, and still win the MVP award.
And did you hashtag ASG All-Star Game?
I did not.
Did he give up 100 runs?
No, but my point was that he could have done whatever he wanted to on the mound. He could have been throwing up gopher balls left and right. He would still got the MVP because Mariano Rivera.
You know why he didn't throw up gopher balls? Because he's a Yankee.
Mariano Rivera.
219-845-1100 is the number. You know, I think.
Yeah, let us know if you agree or disagree with Mo getting the MVP simply because of who he is.
If Rivera comes in and throws,
didn't strike out a batter.
If let's say he gives up 2 home runs, he's not going to be the MVP. He came in.
I challenge that.
Really?
Yeah, I think he would, because the whole time they were saying, "Oh, this is Mariano's game. This is his show." Blah blah blah.
And did you see the end? It was
why isn't it Bryce Harper's game?
What did he do?
I'm just saying, why isn't anyone else's game?
Well,
these are other great players who are in this All-Star game. Clayton Kershaw having an amazing season, ERA under 2.
Yeah.
Why wasn't he the big guy here? I get that Mariano's retiring. I get that. Give him a tribute, whatever. But they made the whole game just about him. And
in
it was
2001, didn't Cal Ripken Jr. win the MVP in his final? I believe he did. But he did have a home run in that game.
Oh, look at that.
All-Star. See, the thing is, the NL only had 3 hits. It's not like they could talk about anything else. I mean, think about it. They had no other storylines. It was the most boring All-Star game maybe in the world ever.
Yeah, but even before the game started, this was their storyline. That was the only narrative they were pushing was Mariano Rivera, Mariano Rivera. Was the whole thing that they were trying to push. And luckily for them, nothing else overshadowed it, so they got to stick with it.
Well, think about this. I think just don't get me wrong, but I think that Chipper Jones last year, the whole year last year, I just heard about, this is Chipper Jones' last trip to Kansas City. This is Chipper Jones' last trip. Like he's a great player, but I just think that they made more of a big deal about him last year than they did Mariano Rivera this year. So I think that this tribute.
I disagree.
I think it's the same.
Yeah, I think it's the same too. And plus, you were hearing a lot about that stuff when it was the end of the season. Mariano's not done visiting Fenway. He's not done visiting Baltimore. Right. It's only halfway through the season. Those times will come when they'll say, this is his last game ever at such and such park. But, until August and September when he plays those final games there, trust me, you will hear about it.
I just think
I don't mind that as much because that is just one singular game where they're just saying, thanks for, all the memories, blah, blah, blah. They're not giving him awards for it.
As the best closer ever, I think he deserves it.
Well, anyway, I thought that this whole thing of giving him the MVP just who he is just reeked of 2009's.
I don't think did Chipper Jones get the MVP last year.
I don't think so. But it reeked of 2009's All-Star selection of Tim Wakefield. Remember when he was on the Red Sox and he made it in 2009? Wakefield had an ERA at the time of the All-Star game of 4.31, a whip of 1.38, and a strikeout and walk ratio 1.68. Those are not even close to All-Star worthy numbers at all. And then when people were asking about it, why would Wakefield get in? They said, he deserves it. I mean, he had a great career with the Red Sox, and everyone loves him. He deserved it. He's almost done with his career. He's 42. Let's just put him in. He's never been in one before, and that was the whole argument there. And I thought that was bull as well, because at least Mariano deserved to be in this game.
Right.
Tim Wakefield had no
30
business
saves on the season.
Yeah, I have no problem with him making it, but he did not deserve it. Just like Wakefield did not deserve to even make the game. Looks like we got a caller.
Let's take this caller. Hey, Tate.
Hello. Yes, I would just like to say
What's up,
one, Sam, you're amazing.
I am amazing.
Thank you. How do you feel about Cano getting hit by Matt Harvey?
I thought that obviously you don't want that to ever happen. You don't want to see someone get injured in an All-Star game. But and obviously Harvey was not throwing at him. That's obviously out of the question. But yeah, that's scary, and you hope that he's better. I think they said it was his quadricep, maybe just a bruise or something.
Bruise. I mean, when Cano passed him up by the pitcher's mound. Harvey just hit his chest, said, "My bad."
I'd like to acknowledge the greatness of this caller and how honest he's being right now.
Tate, are you also a Yankees fan like your boy Sam?
I am not. I'm actually a Pirates fan.
Oh, yeah?
So, best record.
So you have to watch Kutch out there in center, huh?
Yeah, great player. I'm glad we got him. Almost as good as Neil Walker, in my opinion, but that's just because I personally like him.
What do you think of Mariano Rivera getting the MVP?
I felt like it just had to do with politics at this point. I mean, he pitched okay, but Chris Sale probably should have gotten it.
Yes. Great. This is a great caller, Sam. You're right.
Hey, quick
totally
question,
agree.
Tate. Quick question, Tate. Bryce Harper's hair. What do you think about it?
It's amazing, innovative, really.
Thank you. That's 2-1 for me, I think.
Sam, how's your hair looking over there?
It's looking pretty great. Bryce Harper-like, in fact.
Oh, gosh.
Tate, how old are you?
I'm 17.
17. Well, yeah, that's why.
Well, I mean, we'll see. Yeah, you guys will grow out of it, maybe. But anyway, thanks for the call, Tate. Yeah, the Cano getting hit by the pitch was scary when he actually had to leave the game.
Right.
And you don't want to see that in an All-Star game.
And I heard it was payback from when Clemens hit Mike Piazza in the World Series.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's what it was, Matt Harvey. Did you see the thing on Jimmy Fallon, by the way? Matt Harvey.
I missed that.
Oh, that was hilarious.
You
I
saw
saw
it,
that.
Sam? Yeah, walking around talking to people who didn't know.
Oh, by the way, I'm Matt Harvey.
Yeah, he was saying, if Matt Harvey was standing in front of you right now, what would you say to him? That was pretty funny. And then at the end of the video, one of the guys knew who it was. I'm sure others did too, but they obviously cut the video out.
Right.
But I thought that was pretty funny.
I'd start Kershaw. I thought that was hilarious. Where they said,
I would, though. Kershaw's doing amazing.
Definitely.
So right after the All-Star game was the celebrity softball game. Did you guys watch that also?
No.
I missed that.
No? Did you guys ever watch it?
I did the one year Nelly hit like 4 home runs.
Nelly is amazing in the celebrity games.
Who was it?
He played minor league baseball, or at least he had an offer to.
Right.
Really?
Nelly. Yeah.
What celebrities and former players were in that?
Well, the NL won 8-5. Kevin James got the MVP. I love Kevin James.
I love
Kevin James.
King of Queens is a great show.
Yep.
He had an amazing sliding double into second, which was pretty funny. Prince Fielder-esque. I tweeted that Prince Fielder was trying to do his best Kevin James impersonation when he slid into third.
Paul Blart Mall Cop, not
those
that
are
good,
some
though.
big dudes. And so, yeah, and he also had a couple nice plays at third. And he dove for one, full-out dove. Looked like a legit MLB player at third. He missed it, but
Right.
yeah, so no Nelly this year. He usually dominates, but they did have a wounded warrior, Josh Wegge, I think his name was. He played in the left field. He's a double amputee. Both his legs are bionic, I guess you call them. And he almost made an amazing diving play in left field. I had no idea who it was when he was running, and he dove, and I thought he almost had it, and then he got up. I'm like, that guy looks like he's got no legs.
Yeah.
And I could not believe that he was that athletic and that, easy on them. Frank Thomas, Ricky Henderson, Bernie Williams all playing for the AL
What's
team.
Frank Thomas doing out
What
there?
do you mean what's Frank Thomas? The big hurt?
He's not a New York guy.
Doesn't matter. Neither is Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, he is. He played for the
Okay,
Mets.
all right, you're right. But
And the Yankees, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And but I mean, they always have people like that. Andre Dawson was there. Ozzie Smith.
I feel like
They
Frank
always
Thomas
have Hall
is
of
like
Famers.
too recently retired to play in that game.
I mean, 4 years ago. He's up.
But I mean,
5 years ago. I
he's a
think up
mammoth. He's a mammoth like specimen.
Did he hit a home run?
He did. Of course he
course.
did.
Yeah.
He played last year, too, and he hit at least 1 or 2 home runs.
Really?
Yeah, Piazza, Strawberry, Ozzie Smith, and Andre Dawson all played for the NL squad.
Yeah.
Pitchers, this pitching matchup, Frank Thomas versus Jenny Finch.
Ooh. How'd that go?
Ooh, Jenny Finch.
Jenny Finch.
Yeah, it went pretty well. Actually, Frank Thomas got a little wild towards the end, and he ended up swapping out. I think Raleigh Fingers came in to pitch for him. For some reason, they had Raleigh at first and Frank pitching.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Raleigh, but
Little
why wouldn't
swap.
you have, your pitcher pitching, your first baseman play first, and Raleigh made a few
Maybe
errors,
Raleigh can't get it to the plate anymore with that floater.
I don't know. Frank Thomas was looking pretty good on the mound, though.
Do you watch the video of Jenny Finch striking out Barry Bonds? Or like he was like legit trying. Like softball pitchers are ridiculously they throw so hard.
And they got that rise ball.
Yeah.
So Barry Bonds probably wasn't
How do you
used to that.
how do you hit a rise ball?
I mean, they throw hard relative to the distance they are away from the mound.
True.
Right.
And then they said something about a home run swing off if it was a tie game. That's what I would like to see. Instead of the 6 innings of softball, do 4 innings. Do home run celebrity derby. 4 Hall of Famers, 4 celebrities. Maybe do 5 outs instead of 10.
Yep.
Now you play softball. What's the rule about like the home runs limit?
Usually 3, at least in my league. It's 3 home runs is the max, and then that's it.
Why is there a limit?
Just because some guys can hit it out at will, so you want to make it competitive, and then after 3 home runs, every home run's an out.
True.
All right, so we're going to take a break on the Sports Jam. I'm Joe Rourke, Mike Zajac, Sam Sapita in the new producing booth. We'll be back in just a few minutes, and then coming up later, we got an interview with Oilmen, Lake Central Indian, and Chippewa, Jimmy McNamara, coming up.
Welcome back to the Sports Jam here on AM 1230 WJOB. We got some local news. Joe, you want to start us off?
Yeah, we got some region sports news. The 6-month search for a new athletic director for Crete-Monee High School is over. The school board approved the hiring of Linda Pete. She has previously been the athletic director at Curie Metropolitan High School and was the assistant AD at Chicago State University. So Crete-Monee has got a new AD, Linda Pete. And then I also got some news on the Oilmen. I got some Oilmen notes. Yesterday's game, this is from their game notes, by the way. I did not write this script. This looks like it was Jason Garrett.
Nobody would have known if you'd.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want someone to call in and say, hey, I wrote that, not you. So anyway, Oilmen drop heartbreaker to the Vikings. NWI led 3-1 in the middle innings and then 4-3 after breaking through and taking the lead in the bottom of the 8th. But the Vikings mounted a comeback against the Oilmen closer and stunned the Oilmen 6-4 at Oil City Stadium on Tuesday. Both starters, Kevin Hallberg for Southland and Jimmy McNamara for NWI, gave up 3 runs and took no decisions. The Oilmen could not capitalize on Hallberg's wildness, leaving 7 men on base in the 5 innings that the right-hander pitched, despite drawing 7 walks. Anthony Bova finished 2 for 4, including the go-ahead RBI in the 8th when he beat out a slow grounder to second. Jack Krzyzewski also had 2 hits for NWI, who finished 3 for 4 against their regional rivals this season. Dan Wetzel, who's now 1-0, got the win in relief for Southland. The first tonight marks the first road game of the season for the Oilmen against the Chicago Zephyrs. It is also the first time out of 5 times that the teams will play each other over the next 2 weeks, including a doubleheader. NWI has had great success against the Zephyrs this season, winning both games at Oil City Stadium by a combined score of 17-1. Tonight's game between the 20-10 Oilmen and the 3-15 Chicago Zephyrs will take place at 5 p.m. Central in Sugar Grove, Illinois. The game will not be on the radio, but you can watch the Ustream on nwioilman.com.
Doesn't seem like the Zephyrs are having too good of a year.
No, 3-15. That's not going to cut it.
Not too solid.
Jimmy on the mound tonight?
No, well, I just said in the notes, Jimmy pitched yesterday.
It's all right. Mike doesn't listen.
Sorry.
So.
Don't even listen to me.
I'm doing 5 things at once. Railcats in the news. Lincoln scored 11 unanswered runs to break out a 2-2 6th-inning tie and defeat the Railcats 13-2 yesterday. Craig Maddox, Adam Klein, and Drew Martinez all recorded 2 hits for the Railcats. Maddox delivered a solo home run, his team leading 4th of the season in the 6th to not the score, but Lincoln responded with 2 runs in the 6th, followed by 3 in the 7th and 6 in the 8th. Ari Ronick suffered the loss for the Railcats, yielding 4 runs. 3 were earned in 5+ innings. Josh Biggs of Washington Township was roughed up in 1 1/3 innings of relief, getting tagged for 6 hits and 8 runs. So there you go with some local headlines.
How's Rusty doing?
I haven't talked to Rusty in a while, but
Since our interview last Wednesday?
last
Thursday?
That was last Friday. I saw him on Saturday night. He was walking around without his crutches, so he's getting better.
That's good.
Hopefully. He didn't say anything about an MRI. He doesn't believe it's torn or anything. So Rusty, I don't think personally he'll be out there until next season.
Well, his twin is out there now.
Right. Well, yeah. But
Rusty's twin, the other Railcat, is out there now. But hopefully,
the number 1 Rusty on the sideline.
The bench Rusty is out there right now. All right, so we're going to take a little break real quick. When we come back from this break, we will have Jimmy McNamara, who pitches for the NWI Oilmen that I just talked about, on the phone lines, and he will let us know how the season's going and how playing in Central Michigan is going. So Jimmy McNamara, right when we come back from this break on the Sports Jam. I'm Joe Rourke, Mike Zajac, and Sam Sapita in front of me. Stay tuned.
Move like a jellyfish. Rhythm is nothing. You go with the flow. You don't stop.
All right, welcome back to the Sports Jam. Getting a little tambourine action in there on that song. You are listening to the Sports Jam. This is Joe Rourke, Mike Zajac, Sam Sapita over in the dark producing booth.
I'm still live over here, if you guys are wondering.
Still live. We were wondering, actually. We were very concerned about you.
Throw me some breadcrumbs.
All right, we're going to bring Jimmy McNamara on the line real quick. He's a former Lake Central Indian lefty who was named the 2012 Times Indiana Player of the Year, Co-Player of the Year. He struck out 124 batters in 76 2/3 innings that season. And against Lowell in 2012, he threw a true perfect game, which means he struck out all 15 batters that he faced in the 5-inning game. You know who else did that, Mike?
Nobody.
Clayton Kershaw.
Oh, did he?
Clayton Kershaw, when he was in high school, also threw a true perfect game
Is
where
that
he
the
struck out.
only other one?
No,
okay.
But I mean that's the one I know of, and that's definitely a good person to follow in the footsteps
Absolutely.
of. Jimmy on the line.
Yeah, right here. How are you?
How does that feel, knowing that you and Clayton Kershaw are walking the same path right now?
You know, I didn't know that until you just said it. So that's a pretty good name to be on the same list as.
I think so. So you're going to Central Michigan right now, and you're there with your LC teammate and co-player of the year, Taylor Lainert. So how is that, going on to college but bringing a teammate with you?
It was pretty big. You know, he committed about 3 weeks before me, and they were at the top of my list even before he committed. So after he committed, that basically set them apart. You know, completely going there and knowing somebody. When you're going there to know somebody,
right,
and get off the right foot with them, and meet everybody else. You know, knowing somebody when you got there was pretty big.
Is it nice having like a support system? Someone who knows. If you're on the mound getting frustrated or whatever, he kind of knows you and he'll know how to calm you down or the things to say or whatever else on the bench.
Yeah, we've been teammates for such a long time. We played high school together, and we played since we were 13. We were on the same team actually. So we kind of knew each other's pros and cons and our strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that, and how to calm each other down and to give each other tips, when something wasn't going right,
Exactly.
Something like that. We knew each other really well.
So for the people who may not know or have seen you pitch at Lake Central or Central Michigan or for the NWI Oilmen, what is your pitching repertoire like?
I have a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup.
And you're kind of more of a finesse control pitcher, right?
Yeah, I really don't blow too many fastballs by guys. I like to keep the hitters off balance, and I just keep them off balance, and I get ahead in counts and get weak contact, and that's how I get my strikeouts too.
Hey, Jimmy, Mike Zajac here. Is there a pitcher, past or present, in the majors that you compare yourself to?
Well, everybody seems to compare me to Mark Burley because I work really fast on the mound too. That's something else. I just get in the rhythm, and I like to take maybe 5, 6 sets. Like once I get the ball back, I walk back to the mound, I get my sign, and I throw. There's really no dilly-dallying around on the mound or anything like that. So guys like to compare me to Mark Burley. My favorite pitcher is Greg Maddux. I try to model my game after him. He can throw the ball, or he probably still can throw the ball wherever he wants. So that's what I strive to be, is a guy that is kind of like Greg Maddux. But I mean Mark Burley. It's Mark Burley. So.
Yeah, and those are two guys who never really blew the ball
right
past everyone. They kind of just did it with cunning and guile and their expertise and outthinking the hitters.
And when Joe told me what kind of pitcher you were, the first name that popped in my head was Greg Maddux.
Yeah, that's just somebody. Growing when he came to the Cubs in the mid 2000s, I got to watch him pitch a few times, and I knew of him when he was on the Braves, and he was a Cy Young candidate every year on the Braves. And it's just somebody, he wasn't like any other pitcher. He wasn't like Pedro, and he wasn't like Randy Johnson, who were, we were able to blow these like 95 plus mile-an-hour fastballs by guys. Greg Maddox throwing like 88 miles an hour, maybe getting 90, and just icing all these hitters.
Yeah, exactly. I think I read that your teammate Taylor, he throws about 93, and you're what, in the high 80s?
Yeah, he throws. He's gotten it up to 92 this past year. He did. Yeah,
so that's pretty cool that you guys are, teammates, and obviously you were the aces at Lake Central, and you both kind of have a different style, something new to throw at the hitters.
Yeah, he's definitely more of a power pitcher.
Are there any specific pitches that you're working on? Thinking of adding a fourth pitch in there?
Yeah, I've been working on like a slider or a cutter. I've been working on that in the off season, and when I was up at Central Michigan, I was working on that with the pitching coach.
So what is the difference? What's the big difference you've seen between the pitching coaches at the high school level, the college level, and now with the Oilmen? Is there a big change in philosophy there, or?
Yeah, I mean, not too. Actually, yeah. There's been a pretty big change. When I was at Lake Central, I got to call my own pitches, and that's how it is at the Oilmen this summer. I've been able to call my pitches. I like to throw, about 50-50 off speed to fastballs. I like to keep the hitters off balance, and I think that's how I've had, the amount of strikeouts I have and the amount of success. I can credit that to keeping the hitters off balance with the amount of off speed. And when I was at Central Michigan, the coaches called the pitches, and I was more of like a 80%, 20% fastball guy and more of a ground out type of pitcher.
So it
was two completely different philosophies, really.
Do you prefer to call your own pitches, or do you like just kind of, telling, or just kind of doing what they're asking?
No, I really like calling my own pitches. I think I have a great mind. I think I can see what the hitter is doing. Any little hitch, anything with his hands or anything like that, I can spot out pretty quickly. So, I feel like when the coaches call pitches, it kind of takes me away from that. Like if the coaches are calling pitches, it's almost like, why should I even look to see what kind of hitch he's doing? Because I can't really shake off the coach.
Yeah, that's true. Especially now when you're a freshman there too.
Yeah.
You kind of want to just fall in line and do whatever they ask of you.
Exactly.
So if anyone wants to call in and has a question for Jimmy, you can call us 845-1100. We can try and get you on real quick. We got about 5-10 more minutes, however long Jimmy can stay with us and wants to chit-chat. So in your 18 appearances for Central Michigan as a freshman, only 5 of them were starts. Is that normal for a freshman coming in? Or
yeah, we had a couple of injuries. So we had Taylor actually slid into a weekend spot, and I took the weekday starts. Weekdays are like non-conference games. So I got some weekday starts, and I would throw 4 or 5 innings, no matter how good or bad I was doing, and then I would come in and get a couple innings in relief with bullpen during the conference games on the weekend. So that's how I think I had the second most appearances because I had about 2 a week for at least like the last couple months of the season.
Have you been told if their future plans with you are to keep you in the rotation or the bullpen or kind of a hybrid thing?
I talked to the coach earlier, and I think it's going to be more of a relief thing this year, like more of an exclusive relief thing. I kind of told him I didn't, because I never got into a good rhythm. I never really found myself having a role on the team. But this coming year, I think I'll be more in the bullpen as a setup guy, and maybe getting some closer opportunities and stuff like that is what the coach said to me. So hopefully that would be the case.
Do you have a preference of starting or relieving, or do you just want to get in the game no matter what?
Yeah, well, getting in the game, getting innings is always important. But starting, I like both. Starting, you feel like you have control over the game, like the game's in your hands for. Whether your team wins or loses really is up to how good you do while you're in. And coming in out of the pen, I really love pitching under pressure. I've thrown under pressure for so long, and I like to think that I thrive under it. So coming in, a couple guys on, up by 1, tie game, stuff like that, that's stuff that I really like to pitch under. So either way, I think I just got to find my niche and hopefully can excel at it.
Jimmy, are there anything, pitches or anything you're working on with the Oilmen to get yourself ready for the sophomore year?
Yeah, just kind of fine-tuning my stuff, really. Been throwing, I've been trying to throw a little bit harder and throw my curveball more as a swing and a miss kind of pitch. And been working on my changeup, and I haven't thrown any sliders or cutters like that, but I've been working on that as well. So hopefully go back to Central Michigan in the fall, and I'm better than I was the last year.
So here's kind of a question I just thought of a minute ago, and I think it's brilliant. If you could steal one pitch from any major league pitcher and put that in your arsenal, what pitch would it be?
I don't know. I think R.A. Dickey's knuckleball would be quite a pitch to have. I mean, like, you could pick like you could pick like Verlander's fastball, or like Max Scherzer's curveball or something like that. But like to throw a knuckleball, that would be like fun to throw every single time.
I just mentioned to Joe after he asked that question.
He
motioned the knuckleball.
He was giving me the knuckle sign.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's got to be like a pretty unanimous decision.
I think it's kind of interesting that there are hardly any knuckleballers that can throw hard, who can throw 90s and then also have a knuckleball. I feel like that would be the deadliest thing if you could.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could throw 91 and then just rattle off like a 65-mile-an-hour knuckleball.
Yeah, I think R.A. Dickey throws upper 80s, I want to say, with his fastball. I think he's probably...
well, he didn't even throw a knuckleball until he got, like in college, he didn't throw a knuckleball.
Yeah, and I think even in the minors for the first few years, I don't think he threw a knuckle either.
Yeah, I think he got hurt, and then he, like, converted himself into a knuckleballer, which is, like, the craziest thing. I think I'm going to do that.
I can't even throw a fastball 65. I don't understand how they can throw a knuckleball that fast. Have you ever tried it in practice just to see what happens?
Yeah, when I play catch with my brother, I try to throw knuckleballs, and he lies to me and says every single knuckleball I throw is really good, but it's really not that good.
Is that a shout out to BMAC right now?
That's a shout out to BMAC,
my teammate,
and the rest of the Slopers softball team.
My softball teammate BMAC. Shout out to him. He's always throwing knuckleballs from third base to first, or at least that's what his excuse should be.
Yeah, that's the excuse. Belly up.
Yeah, belly up. Everybody belly up. I haven't seen you out at too many of our games this year. You too?
I know we've had
too busy for us?
We've had a few Thursday games in a row, so I'll be there tomorrow though.
I feel like my hitting hasn't been on par this season because you haven't been there.
I think it's definitely because of me.
There's nobody out there to call me the Paul Konerko of slow pitch softball. So, all right. So, you're teaching major, right?
No, I'm going to be an accounting major.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to teach at some point.
Yeah, I thought about teaching. My last few years of high school, but I think I'm going to stray away from my dad and my brother and go towards the business part.
So, if you, let's say, baseball never pans out or whatever because it's such a hard sport to get into anyway, and what would you be doing then? What's your goal then?
I would like to just work in an accounting firm, maybe have my own accounting firm, something like that. Get my CPA license for accounting and just kind of live. I really don't. Baseball's fun, to get paid to play a game for the rest of life would really be a dream. But if it doesn't work out, it really doesn't work out. It really won't change. I guess how I act.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I mean, not really. I'm pretty excited for tomorrow.
Yeah. Do you have to travel to the game tonight in Sugar Grove?
No.
Okay. So only when you're pitching that you guys have to travel?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know when you're pitching next for the Oilmen?
Monday.
That would be
I think that's in Sugar Grove too.
Okay, yeah. So make sure everyone listening out there checks out my boy Jimmy McNamara.
Hey, Jimmy, one more question for you.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Joe's been telling me you're pretty good out there, right?
Yeah.
Any chance I can take a couple whiffs at you?
Absolutely.
Really? You think I'd get a hit?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played like baseball in probably 6 years. So
since high school, right?
Yeah, high school.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Get in the box.
Maybe you can try your.
I want to face the whole Slopers softball lineup. Actually.
You want to face the master batters?
I want to face the master batters. I'm glad you said it first. I didn't know if that was appropriate.
I actually didn't know either. I kind of just went with it.
You could try your knuckleball out with me.
I'm probably fired now. All right, Jimmy. Well, thanks for having us, or thanks for being on the phone lines. I actually I called his brother about an hour ago, and I asked him if he could get his brother to come on our show. And he said, yeah, so real short notice, but thanks to Jimmy for coming out with us and giving us a little insight on the Oilmen and on his season at Central Michigan and Lake Central Baseball and all that good stuff. So best of luck to Jimmy and the Oilmen the rest of the season. When we come back, we'll talk some headlines with Sam, the intern.
Step boy.
What up? On WJOB AM 1230.
Welcome back to the Sports Jam AM 1230 WJOB. Tonight, Festival of the Lakes kicks off. 5 o'clock, the park opens. Wristbands day for the children until 11 p.m. Unlimited rides for $25. Carnival and free pontoon boat ride. Joe, weren't you on a boat ride? On a pontoon boat?
I was actually this whole weekend.
Yeah,
we were on the pontoon for about 5 straight days. It was pretty great.
Nice. 5:15, the children's stage activities. 6:30, opening ceremonies begin. Beer garden opens at 7 o'clock, and the mayor will introduce the sponsors. Smokey Robinson on the stage with Nicole Jamrose tonight. And, of course, tomorrow will be Bruce in the USA. Opening act will be Evolution Journey Tribute Band. Friday, July 19th, we'll have Lifehouse up there. Opening act is the Craw Puppies. And Saturday, you have LL Cool J is in the house. So that's our lineup. And
we have a caller on the line. I have no idea what Sam wrote down. Let's take it blindly.
He didn't know. Maybe you guys will know.
Okay. What's up, Harlow?
Hi.
How's it going?
It's Lifehouse in the house, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Something like this. All right, what's the Railcats their mascot's name again?
Rusty the Railcat.
Rusty the Railcat. His backup would be the understudy.
Right. Yeah. Little rusty.
What did you guys call him?
Less rusty is his understudy.
The backup.
Yeah.
Well, since now that one's down, maybe you guys can put in a good word for me. I'm always looking for an extra gig. Maybe I could be the understudy to the understudy.
You think you're gonna be able to pull off that surfing move on the rail that Rusty used, that fateful day?
Hey, I can do anything.
I got a couple connections over there, so I'll put in a good word.
Thank you. All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit. Good show.
All right, see you soon, Harlow. Thanks. Yeah, that would be Harlow, Sam.
Yeah, that would be.
Recognize that voice.
I couldn't read anything. All right.
Then again, you're never here until, or you leave before 4 anyway, so you probably never even see Ron Harlow. All right, let's go to headlines real quick. What do you got for us, Sam?
Deal forward Daniel Carcillo to the Kings for the 2015 unconditional draft pick.
About time.
Really?
Oh my gosh! Thank God he is gone.
Was he as bad as what's that one defenseman's name that's really terrible?
Bolig?
Roseball.
Yeah, there you go. Roseball.
Hey.
Roseball. Is he as bad as him?
No.
He is no. What do you mean? You think Carcillo is better than Roseball?
No, but during the season, Roseball wasn't all that great, and I didn't like him. And Carcillo never played, so.
Carcillo is just garbage.
Yeah.
In 51 games with the Hawks, his 2 seasons, 4 goals, 10 assists, 93 penalty minutes, 113 hits. The hits were the only good thing about Daniel Carcillo. He's a dirty player.
He was supposed to be our bruiser, and he really.
When he was on the Flyers, when we played him, he was so dirty.
Yeah.
And every team he's gone to, he's just been a scummy player that gets called for penalties and just, will embellish and the stick will come near him and he'll just dive and stuff. I could not stand that guy. I'm so glad.
That whole description was a dictionary of adjectives.
That's what Joe's all about.
A thesaurus, if you will.
It really was.
I have a
It was inspiring.
a cornucopia.
There you go. That's a large word.
All right, what else you got for us, Sam?
49ers linebacker Navarro Bowman claims it's a huge mistake for quarterback Colin Kaepernick to sport a Dolphin snapback on Instagram. What do you think about that? I thought they talked about Cam Newton yesterday.
Right.
He comes out and says he's a huge Falcons fan, except for the 2 times that they play a year. I think this is kind of strange how athletes are coming out and supporting other opposing teams that they rival.
I think it's weird. Sam, can you switch our camera back, by the way?
Dude,
I think
you bet.
There we go. Look at that fade. I think it's weird that he would wear a hat of another team that's in his league, like that's in the NFL. But I don't have a problem with athletes, from New York wearing hats from Chicago, or a Blackhawks player, if he was going to wear like an Astros hat, I wouldn't care about that.
Right.
But as far as within your actual sport, that is kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's okay to wear it. I just don't think you should be posting stuff. Like, I think they're getting, like, out of hand with, like, the social media. Like, athletes just do stupid things on social media networks.
I mean, either way, it's kind of it's a stupid thing to really make a big deal about.
Yeah.
But
it's ESPN for you, for sure. Keith Olbermann reunites with ESPN for the late night show. I don't remember him being on ESPN in my lifetime, so.
This was, early to mid-90s he was on, Mike?
Yeah, 93 to 97. His show, Olbermann, will air at 10 p.m. weeknights on ESPN2. It'll be a mix of perspective, commentary, interviews, panel discussions, and highlights. He left in 1997 for MSNBC, Fox, and now Current TV, which was his last job. But the show, Olbermann, will run opposite of SportsCenter. I think this show will get more audience than SportsCenter.
It should.
We'll run opposite of SportsCenter. What do you mean?
So SportsCenter will play on ESPN. Olbermann will play on ESPN2 at the same time.
Okay.
So maybe NASCAR and other meaningless sports won't be on ESPN2.
Maybe.
Okay, but
who knows?
I'm just saying. I think Olbermann's a likable guy throughout.
Yeah, he's a really smart guy. He was actually kind of, when he was on, he was considered like the genius because him and Dan Patrick were on together, and they were more of the intellectual types.
Yeah.
And some people didn't like him for that. They didn't like that he was going above them with all this, smart knowledge, and I like it. I like when sports are analytical and they're more knowledge based and less, just catchphrases like Boomer throws out all the time.
Back.
Yeah, annoying stuff like that. So I like that Olbermann's back. We'll see what happens. ESPN, we knew that the ratings were dropping, so maybe they're trying to change things up a little bit.
So I'm sure it will.
Yankees hopeful A-Rod rejoins the team next week. If A-Rod's listening, don't come back.
Why not?
Please don't come back. Because he's just a nuisance. He's an absolute nuisance that's costing us so much more money than we should be paying him.
I don't think he's going to come back because he was part of that biogenesis. I'm sure he is.
I also don't think he's listening either, but
never
that
know.
would be my opinion.
I'm thinking they're talking about the biogenesis thing this weekend, possibly. Not this weekend, but like in the next week or two coming out. But if that were to happen, the players' union already said the appeal process. They would push it all the way into the offseason.
Yeah, it won't happen this
year. For the next couple months. So any suspensions probably won't even serve until the beginning of next year.
See, and Sam and I talked about it yesterday while you were gone. Why not give the suspensions now, before the All-Star break when this story came out?
Because either way, they got to do the appeals anyway. The players have the right to appeal every single suspension and fine and everything. So,
Joe, do you think that if someone gets caught using performance-enhancing drugs, this is just my opinion, that they should get banned from baseball?
For the first offense?
For first offense.
I don't know about that. Because there are some situations when things will be on the banned substance list that are so stupid and shouldn't be on it, or it was just a mistake, or it was just mixed into something, like what just happened with the number 1 draft pick this year in the MLB, or maybe number 2. Remember they were talking about him possibly slipping because he failed the drug test, but then it came out he was just taking Adderall.
Jonathan Gray.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gray.
Sure.
And they said, he was just taking Adderall. He just didn't have a doctor's prescription. Therefore, he got flagged. Therefore, he's considered a PED user now.
No, I'm saying known, like anabolic steroids.
Well, if it's anabolic steroids, sure, because you can't excuse that.
Like I'm saying, non-excusable. I think they should make a list of drugs that first offense
have stiffer penalties than other drugs.
Yes, and then like maybe the other ones that are lesser, second offense, you get banned.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think that we need to cut down. That's ridiculous.
All right, what else you got for us?
Twitter user Dylan Mason says he would run on the field of the All-Star Game if he got 1,000 retweets. Well, he got 1,000 retweets, so he proceeded to run on the field only to get tackled pretty impressively by a security guard.
It was a Kyle Farnsworth-esque tackle by the security guard. I mean, he just lifted up his legs and just drove him into the ground. Not that he was putting up a fight anyway. He got to second base, and he kind of just stood there.
He just stood there.
And took it.
The tweet said 1,000 retweets, and I'll run across the field. Hashtag ASG, hashtag City Field. He got 3,712 retweets on that. And his mom texted him, and he put this on Twitter. Don't do it. You're stupid. And he said something, you're going to get arrested or something worse. This is ridiculous. And he put that. He retweeted that picture of his phone on that. But
rumor has it that this security guard is going to an open Bears tryout, so it could look pretty hopeful. Maybe he'll be in with him and Julius Peppers on the line.
There you go.
He wasn't that big.
I don't know, but his tackling ability is pretty impressive.
His form was pretty impeccable. Yeah. I got a couple notes here real quick before we head off. Matt Garza, people around the league have been saying there's an 80% chance that he is traded before his next start, which would be sometime this weekend probably.
Yeah.
So they think he's going to be traded in the next few days. And Manny Ramirez is a possibility for the Rangers in the second half. He's hitting 300 with 3 home runs in 8 games in AAA Round Rock Express. So he has a chance to actually come up and play for the Rangers, which is insane, I think.
And by the way, those headlines brought to you by Bosch Dishwashers. Bosch is the quietest dishwasher brand in the U.S. and now features a new 3rd rack. See it at Grand Appliances today.
All right, that's going to do it for us on the Sports Jam. I am Joe Rourke. That is Mike Zajac. Sam Sapita in the producing booth corner
looking
room.
Great as always.
Freezer because it's so cold in there. We got the afternoon fix coming up 4 to 6, another hour of flashbacks before the afternoon fix, and then it'll be the back room 6 to 8. Make sure you stay tuned. Check that out on WJOB AM 1230. We are out of here.